Disclaimer now, I had about 4 hours sleep last night, so if I lose the quiz, that's why.
I'm banking on you to lose the quiz because I've actually got to win one for a change.
Hi YouTube, and welcome to Bumblefyre Fest number 3. My name is BumbleJumper82, not really, but I'm joined today by AFYR. How are you feeling today, mate?
Yeah, not bad. It's a nice day today. Just in time to go through another episode of Bumblefyre Fest, and one of my particular favourite episodes that we're looking at today, Call of the Primitives. So the quick run through of this episode, at the start of it, we see Tornadron, a ball of energy that goes around sucking the life force out of planets and turning them to husks at the end of it. Also at the same time, we see a battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons, of course we do. And in this, you have a Call of the Primitives, where every animalistic life form who's coincidentally on the battlefield is then called away to this mysterious voice in space. In this, we see the Dinobots, Predacons, the Terracons, and a smattering of other creatures. They are all transported to the signal of the source, where we meet Primacron's assistant, who tells us of the story that Primacron, who created Unicron, has also made Tornadron and is now taking over the galaxy one planet at a time, and how the Primitives' life force and their simplistic minds may be the way to combat this.
Okay, commercial break. What toy do you think Hasbro are shilling in this episode?
I went with Skylynx, and I also went with Trypticon. Now, Skylynx, we actually see him in a lot of his modes, so we don't see the separation mode, we don't see that until later episodes, but we do see him in shuttle mode. He's very much the leading force, and Trypticon itself, again, probably the most you see of Trypticon in one episode, not including maybe Five Faces of Darkness, and we see people actually going inside of him and using him as a spaceship. So I would say, even though we don't see Trypticon transform into his base or battle mode, I would say they're probably the two prominent toys that they're like, please buy these toys. How about yourself, Ed?
Well, funnily enough, I wrote down exactly what you just said. I put down Skylynx and Trypticon. So in the absence of that, I'm going to go with the Dinobots, purely because I watched the episode and I thought to myself, oh, I should probably get the Studio Series Slug because I kind of want all the Dinobots at the same scale because I've got that. Can you see Grimlock? Where is he?
It's him. He's just behind Galvatron.
Oh, yeah, he's there.
Peeping around the corner.
There. Keeping it real.
So next we have our favourite moments of this episode. And so, Ed, what is your favourite moment of this episode?
Well, I've got a couple of moments that I'm going to mention. One of the things I would say about it, in terms of an episode, the animation is excellent throughout. It's very anime-esque, and it stands almost alone in season 3 because I believe it was done by a different animation studio. I think it's Toei. I've got a couple of quotes which I really like. Terracons fight everybody. when all of the Primitives are inside of Trypticon, and the Dinobots and the Predacons get into a fight, the Terracons just decide to just go ape on everybody. Love that. And Springer, well, Commander Modesty's here. I mean, that is excellent. I know you don't love Springer, but he does call Skylynx on being, well, a huge big head.
He is quite an egomaniac. No, good moments. For myself, there's so much of this episode that I actually like. But if I had to whittle it down to one thing, actually, it's the first fight scene between the Autobots and the Decepticons. It's the first time you really see that anime-style drawing, and particularly when you see the combiners, Predaking and Abominus. They look so sharp and so menacing in battle. Even Rodimus looks good. And it just looks like a good face-off. I mean, how many times do we see the Decepticons bring two combiner teams, not to mention the sweeps, Cyclonus and Soundwave, to battle along with, 4 Autobots? Okay, core members, but still, that's a pretty intense battle scene it's probably only about 4 or 5 minutes long, right at the start of the episode. So for me, that's my memorable moment that always sticks with me.
And now it's time for our worst moments. And there are a few. I'm going to let you go first because I think you probably only got 1 or 2 maybe.
I have one worst moment in this, and I will be shocked and appalled if you have any more. But for me, the worst moment is actually how the episode ends. Not so much with Grimlock saving the day, I can live with that, but the fact he kind of just stomps off and it crushes the lair and everyone wakes up. And I think to myself, if Tornadron's energy has all been reversed just because they hit the rewind switch, what happens to everyone? Like the Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Soundwave are allegedly just floating in space. So do we even know? Are they still just kind of floating away? What happens with the Predacons and Triptychon out front who were turned into their husk-like state? Do they all get together and go home again? So it was just ended a bit abruptly with Grimlock going, "Yay, I won," and that's it, done. So that's my worst moment of the episode. How about yourself?
Well, I do agree with what you said. It is a very abrupt ending, and for me, when I was a kid, I would have probably seen Grimlock pulling the reverse switch as hilarious. But as an adult, I think, well, surely that's a bit kind of, it's a bit of a convenient ending to the episode. Let's see, worst moments. Okay, Skylynx, I think he just goes a bit over the top with his arrogance. On the borderline irritating. He's so full of it. And although I do like the fact that Rodimus kind of acknowledges the fact and said, "Oh, we just need to hold off the Decepticons till Skylynx gets here." I mean, if he was in earshot of that, it would be game over, because he would be like, "Ha! So you were hanging on for me to come and save the day, were you?"
Well, that shows, doesn't it, that Skylynx is a commander class, and he is allegedly...
That's 80 quid, yeah. Commander class.
Well, depending on how you like your commander class. But yes, when you look at scale and how Skylynx is supposed to scale, allegedly he's supposed to be the size of a combiner. He's supposed to be Predaking's equal. My secondary worst moment is, where's Blur? We see Cut on Cybertron, and we see 4 fairly core members. Where's Blur? Or RC for that matter? We don't see him. And it's kind of part of the senior squad in season 3.
Seeing as we're nitpicking, I've got a nitpick, and this one almost went undetected. I watched the episode a second time just because I was having my lunch, just to absorb it without making notes. And something dawned on me. Tornadron can grow to the size of a planet and then just absorb all its energy, like he does with Cybertron. But when he goes to that meteorite or planet where the primitives are, he decides to just take them off one at a time and waste a lot of time. Why didn't he just become a giant and just swallow all the energy on that planet? That would have saved a lot of time. But then there would have been no resolution. I'll call it a plot hole, maybe. And it's time for the pub quiz. Cheers.
Designated driver, right here.
Designated driver.
You're drinking water as well.
No, actually, this is a gin, lime, and lemonade.
It's tap water, people. He's just put ice in it.
Feel free to play at home. These are going to be questions generally related to this episode, but there might be a bit of general knowledge chucked in there as well. So do you want to go first with your first question?
Okay, I will go first. So, my first question to you, Mr. Bumblejumper. Who wrote this episode?
This episode was written by Donald F. Glut, isn't it?
Really banking on you not getting that one. Well done.
Yes! Do you know what? I don't know the name of many of the writers, but I paused. I was watching the episode and I paused it to go and grab something, and it was paused right on where it says written by. So 1-0 to me.
1-0 to Bumblejumper. What is your question then?
Right, my question is, the Dinobots are called by the assistant. Grimlock is called first, and then the others. But one of them is misnamed. Sludge is misnamed. What is Sludge misnamed as?
When you say misnamed, is it like to a name that's completely unrelated, or is it like a name of another Dinobot, like Miss?
It's a name of another Transformer, but not necessarily a Dinobot.
I didn't pick that up.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have to watch that back.
You are going to have to watch it back. Right, okay. He calls Snarl, Sweep, Swoop, and Slag.
Yes, it was Sweep. I do remember hearing that now you've said it. But I can't claim that as an answer. My question to you now, for my second question to you, who in this episode is actually perceived to be dead? Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase my question. They're not dead, but we see them in this episode as a cameo appearance, but you never hear them speak for the rest of the Transformers series after the 1986 movie. So you see them very briefly at the start of the episode. Can you name this character who doesn't get a speaking role or many appearances in season 3 onwards?
Right, in terms of a speaking role, I'm going to go, well, right at the beginning of the episode, Sweep 6 and 7 announce themselves and they're swooping in to fight. I remember that because I always used to question whether there were 3 or 4 sweeps, but clearly there are more because Sweep 6 and 7. There you go.
There's hundreds.
But they've only been designated a sweep number name, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. So think of it more as someone you would recognise, but you see very, very little of after the 1986 movie.
Oh. No,
I'll give you a hint. You see him on Cybertron.
Oh, is it Blades by any chance?
Good guess, but no.
No.
It's actually Jazz.
He doesn't have a speaking role, does he? He's running around in the background.
No, that's what I say. He doesn't have a speaking role. Jazz doesn't.
Oh.
After the 1986 movie, Scatman wasn't reprised for the
He died, didn't he?
He did die after the movie. Yes, rest in peace, Scatman.
Rest in peace. Yeah, he was great in a number of things. I always think of The Shining as well.
And he did Hong Kong Philly of all things.
Okay, question number 2. Abominus is formed of 5 Terracons. Can you name all 5?
Do you know what? I knew you'd do this one because I can name all of the Predacons. The Terracons.
Go on, have a go. You'll probably get them.
Hunger.
Yes.
Hunger.
Yep.
Cutthroat.
Yep.
Blot.
Yep.
Sinatwin.
Yep. One more.
Ripper Snapper.
Yes, you've got it. You've got it. Well done, mate. That's a general knowledge question.
I didn't think I would get that. I think it's Blot, isn't it? The one I always forget that one because I'm not even sure what it turns into. The characters are very. I literally the first ones that come to mind are Hunger and Sinatwin, the two twin heads.
Yes.
And the others, I'm like, what are you? Like Cutthroat's a bird. What is it supposed to be?
It's a vulture, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Very peculiar, but okay. In a similar vein, can you name all 5 of the Predacons?
Oh, you see, I wasn't going to ask this one of you because I know you love the Predacons. Okay, let's think about this. Razor Claw.
Yes.
Tantrum.
Yes.
Dive Bomb.
Yes.
Headstrong.
Yes.
And the one I always forget, the Red Cat. Rampage.
Oh, well done.
Yes.
Well done. Very good.
I expect you'll get this one. I've gone easy on you here. So, can you name 3 things that Tornadron transforms into or changes into? 3 forms he takes.
So he turns into a spider.
Yep.
He turns into it's a creature. I don't know how to describe the creature, but it's a very Skylynx looking creature when they first get onto the planet. It's like a gorilla sort of thing, but it's got like armor for the upper half.
I'll give you that. They call it a strange creature in the show, but you said creature. Yeah. I'll give you that. One more.
And he turns into like an almost Japanese style combiner when he's fighting off Predaking. So his own form of combiner, to give it a name.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I would have accepted a dragon as well. In fact, he forms 3 different dragons. There's a green one, a brown one, and then a 3-headed yellow one.
We have a draw.
We have a draw. It's 2-2 technically.
Now it's sudden death.
Sudden death. Okay. I've got a question. Oh no, you're going to think of a question.
I'm going to think of a question.
Okay.
So
It's never got this close before.
No, it hasn't. There's a tension here. Okay, I've got one for you. It's a bastard of a question.
What he said there, kids, was it's a challenge of a question.
You can use the quack to edit.
I'll use the quack, yeah.
Okay. In this episode, when the primitives are called, you see 2 cassettes that are never seen at any other point in the Transformers franchise, but actually do have toys made of them. They are a Stegosaurus and a mini Tyrannosaurus from Soundwave's chest. Can you name either one of them?
Slugfest and Overkill. Boom!
For God's sake, you Googled that.
No, I did not. I knew that.
You did not know that.
Slugfest and Overkill. I knew it.
No one remembers them.
Did you see me look down?
You Googled it beforehand.
No, it was one of. I wrote it down because I saw them and I thought, oh, should I ask them that as a question? Now it's too hard. And then you come with who wrote this episode. So I was like, well, I should have asked that question. And the joke's on you because I knew the answer because I already had it as a question, but I thought it was too hard.
It's not going well for me.
Okay. Here's my tiebreaker. You might get this one because you've already got... Well, when Cup is on Cybertron, there's an alert. There are some Transformers running around in the background. One of them is Jazz. Who are the other two? You see one of them run one way, and the other two, which is Jazz and another one, run in the other direction.
So one is Jazz and Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I think.
Who's the other one?
Can I have any hint? Is it really obscure?
It's a mini-bot. It's a mini-bot.
Okay. Okay, let's run through here. Windcharge is dead. Is this an animation dead / not dead?
It could well be, yes.
Oh, okay. So it's someone that I can't exactly chalk people off who died in the Great War.
You've already said him, actually. You said Windcharge.
Windcharge.
Yeah. I think we have to call this a draw. We have to call it a draw, don't we?
Yeah, I think we will. Well,
it's a draw.
I've got one horrible question for you.
You've already given me a horrible question.
Well, I've written it down, so do you want to? I can ask it anyway. You could. I haven't. You haven't got any retort. What colour is Primacron's eyes?
What colour is Primacron's eyes? Oh, geez. Green?
Yes.
Hey! Okay. Okay, right.
Officially, we'll call it a draw.
No, I've got one more question. I've got one more question.
How many more questions have you got? Okay.
Well, you just came up with another one. I want to win this now.
Go on then.
No, I haven't got any more questions. We'll call it a draw, even though you had one more question than me.
I just wrote down a load of stuff, but
it's a draw. It's a draw.
I would shake your hand. Is it that way?
There we go.
There you go.
This episode is going to be really long because the quiz takes about half an hour.
Still better than the TF Nation quiz. No, I'm joking.
I wonder whether people at home will. I still can't believe I got the name of the director. I feel I deserve to win that one. But you got the Terracons though. You got them.
And whilst I'm a sucker for combiner teams, the Terracons, I've never really cared for them that much. Predacons have always been my bag. So, yeah, the fact I got all 5 of them, I've never owned a Terracon. Never owned.
I've got the Power of the Primes ones. They're quite good, actually. Okay, and now it's time for What Did You Learn? So what did you learn?
I learned from watching this episode that an undo button fixes everything. All the world's problems in the world, no matter if you've spilled a glass of milk or if you've drained the energy in the entire universe, a quick undo button solves all your problems. How about you?
Well, I put down, I learned that simple primitive instincts can overcome sophisticated technology, intelligence, and maths.
So, in conclusions, there's actually quite a lot to digest in this episode. There's a lot of lore thrown to us in about 20 minutes. You see the Matrix, which is believed to be Primacon's assistant, which has fled in a battle. Now, this is the same Matrix, of course, as the Matrix of Leadership. So, are we to believe the Matrix of Leadership of the Autobots for generations is actually the assistant of the creator of the Harbinger of Death? There's some very big interweaving going on here that's never really been touched on since. The episode itself ends quite abruptly and could have done with a bit more stretching out. But hey, it's a 20-minute episode from an 80s cartoon. What more do you want?
So yeah, I think I would have changed it as well. I would have made it a bit longer. I would have taken away a bit of the vagaries around the lore, because it's a very short episode. It has one of those skits at the end where they talk about the Decepticon tapes, and you know that an episode is short when they add that bit on. It's like From the Fires of Teletran 2. It's that thing.
Yeah, they've taken away about 2-3 minutes of episode time.
So would you watch this episode again? I think I know the answer to this.
Yeah, I love watching this episode from time to time. It just looks so good, and you get to see spotlight characters almost. I've never seen so much of the Predacons. I think I love seeing Razorclaw. He's one of my favorites. So you see, it's just an action-packed episode. You get Trypticons, Skylynx, Terracons. There's so much to it. So I'd absolutely watch this again. How about you?
Yeah, I think so too. Aside from the excellent animation, it is truly excellent. I do enjoy the to and fro with the Dinobots and the Decepticon combiners, especially when they're inside of Trypticon and then he shakes himself up because they're all fighting and he calms them all down. I love all that stuff.
And so now's the time for you guys to get involved. What are your recommendations for us to watch and review? Now, we have done G1 episodes, and that's fine. G1 episodes are great, but we can open these out to other Transformers series that you want us to watch and review. So leave a note in the comment below of what episode you would like us to do on our next installment of Bumblefyre Fest.
Okay, that was Call of the Primitives Bumblefyre Fest number 3. As it was a draw, and I'm feeling quite charitable, I will do the forfeit because, despite the fact I had the harder questions, just saying, I will do the forfeit. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out AFYR's channel because we'll be doing the next Bumblefyre Fest on your channel. And we will see you very soon. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming.
I've got 2 pages of notes. Ooh, what the hell is that? A piece of paper? Is that a receipt? 3, 2, 1. Swallow.
Picking holes in shows from the 80s.
Children's shows.
Children's shows. We're a high caliber of individual here.
Yeah, exactly. I've got 10 GCSEs. My wife has apparently left me. She's gone.
Well, that's a bit of a bombshell to drop on a Bumblefyre Fest. No, you introduce the what do you learn, and I'll answer it first.
Okay.
What did I learn?
Yeah, make sure you know what you learned.
Knowing is half the battle.
Check out his channel. I'll do that again. Check out Outlaw, whatever your name is.